Um, hello. Today on the Keep It Simple podcast with Brian McMullen, we interview a amazing entrepreneur. His name is Nick and Timpanaro. Nick is from Argentina. He immigrated here when he was younger, and over the last few years, he's gone to school. He's gotten his degrees. He's found a way to insert himself into the businesses he's worked for, and since then he has become a dentist. And now, as of about 5 months ago, he is self-employed. Has his own shop up in Camp Verde, Arizona. And so you should definitely want to check him out, know about him. His name of his business is Verde Smiles. That's www.verdesmiles.com. He's an amazing man who cares about everybody around him. And so I think he's going to be a great guest. So let's take it from there. Hello. Welcome to the Keep It Simple podcast with Brian McMullen. That's me. Today I have an amazing guest. I actually just met him about a month ago, and since then we've met 2 times, and we're actually meeting again tonight on in a meetup. So I'm really super excited about that, Nick. But we're sitting here with Edgardo, Nicholas Timpanaro. Sorry
Yes,
about that.
it's all good.
You knew that I'd hack that up, right?
It's all good. A lot of people have a hard time with my last name. They call me Timpanaro, yeah, many things.
Well, I mean, honestly, you're from Argentina, and that is not, I think a lot of Americans see Hispanic names, but not necessarily from your country. So maybe that's a
Right.
little bit. I'm giving myself a little bit of leeway here. Okay,
You did great. You did better than that I would
there we
do in
go. There we
English.
go. There we go. So today we're talking with Nick. That's what we're going to go with here because it's easy for me. And that's actually what most people call you, I believe. So we're good. Today we're going to be talking with Nick about what's going on in his life, what he's been working on, where he's been, and I've just when I met him, I didn't know enough. We went to lunch about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and I thought, wow, this guy would be an interesting person to talk to. He's trying to do something that a lot of people aren't trying to do, and that's really always what I'm looking for is someone reaching and striving. So Nick, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. So my daughter is working at a dentist's office as a yes, not dental hygienist, but just a dental assistant. And so she's kind of liking what she's doing, but she doesn't see like a future long term with it necessarily, unless she can make some moves to make herself better. And as I kind of told you this a week or so ago, you mentioned that you were doing exactly what she's doing now a few years ago.
That's right. So before I got into dental school, I was a dental assistant for about 7 to 8 years. As I was going through school, working and all that, I really wanted to make sure that I can, enjoy the profession before I put all that money and time and effort into this career. And it's actually that I found that I love.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you just basically started in the dental office, learned what they're doing, and learned what you wanted to do, and started working toward that. And it took you a few years, right?
Yeah, so the way I did it, I had my part-time job in the beginning. I was going to school, taking some courses because English is my second language, so I had to start somewhere. So I started with basic English courses, sociology, mathematics, and things like that. And then on the days off, I would go and shadow a dentist. And eventually they offered me a job because they saw that I'm interested and I was basically helping them out, cleaning the office, pouring models, the stone that you put on to make models of teeth. I started asking a lot of questions. I bought my own textbook and started learning on my own how to become a dental assistant. And from there, that dentist saw my excitement about the profession and offered me a job. and that's how I keep going.
I love that.
Mhm.
I love that because ultimately, as I'm an employer. Okay, I've had employees for on and off for 30 years, right? And one thing I look for is someone who comes in the business and doesn't just do what they're told or do what the minimum. They're actually trying to better themselves. And so, what you just described is someone who's trying to better themselves. And I tell you, every true business owner wants to help that person. So, if there's any one point that we get out of today, guys, is if you want to move forward, don't just show up. You got to show up consistently, and you got to push for yourself. You got to make, and I don't mean push for yourself by I want more pay or I want better benefits. You have to push for yourself to learn and get better at your craft. So that's what put Nick in a position where people wanted to help. It sounds to me like, right?
That's exactly right. Yes, even one of my employers actually paid for my course. As I was an assistant, paid for my course to prepare for the big exam, the entrance exam, because they saw my potential. They saw all the sacrifice and what I was doing for the company and for my patients and for my family, and they actually helped me out without me asking. So
That's
people
awesome.
notice. People notice. The effort you put.
I'll tell you right now, I put more effort into my good employees over the years than they did almost because I could see that they wanted it, right? So it's
That's
really
right.
important. It's really, really important. And then you not only did this whole thing, became a dentist, started working for a dentist, and realized you don't want to just work for someone. You want to be a business owner, right?
That's right. So for the longest time, I was afraid, and having a lot of self doubt. Am I capable of doing that? And then I was blessed with a wonderful wife that always reminds me, Nick, you came from another country. You had to learn English, and look everything that you have achieved. You got your undergrad degree. You went through dental school. I mean, how many people get to do that? So then I start thinking, that's right, like I have potential. I was blessed with intelligence. I was blessed with a good or strong work ethic. I was blessed with grit. Why not me? Because sometimes we think, why me? You know, can I be successful? Yes, we all can. We just have to have a goal, a vision, and work for it.
I love that. It's so. I would say that's such. And I don't want to put down anything anybody, but I always say that is the American way. It's like, dude, if you can dream it, you can do it. And I love your. And by the way, I met your beautiful wife, and she is amazing. Um, but just the fact that you had someone support you and then you push forward. And yeah, I mean, the hardest part of my life, honestly, I'll say, is I doubt myself too. So the self-doubt you're speaking of is not uncommon. I think the uncommon part is when we step out and past that uncomfortableness and take action, right?
That's true.
um yeah, I love that because, like I said, yeah, you could sit there and go, well, I'm here. That's good enough, or that's all I deserve, or that's all I'm going to get, or you can go reach for something, right?
Right, right. I mean, sometimes, as employees, I was an employee practically half of my life. And, but you cannot really reach your full potential many times, depending on what your goals are in life. For me, I wanted, autonomy. I wanted to leave a legacy for my wife and my kids, bless my sisters that are still in Argentina. And those are things, I wanted to stretch myself,
I
because
love
I,
it.
I was feeling too comfortable where I was. And you can never feel too comfortable.
It's so funny. I think that a lot of people don't recognize that. Right, a lot of people are coming, and I'm gonna I think I've had a life where I've been comfortable, but I've always pushed, but I didn't push hard enough. So I owned a business, an insurance business for many years, and I was just complacent with going to work, doing the work, making the money, coming home, you know and at some point, I had to make that leap of, hey, this isn't getting me where I want to get in my heart. I want to go somewhere with my life, and it's not getting me there. And I think that a lot of people don't go to that point. They just go, well, it's what it is. It's where I'm at, and they want to complain. And a lot of times, those are the people who complain a lot about what they don't have or
Right.
what they want. Right. So yeah, you're going for it. I love it. So the name of your business is Verde Smiles. It's
Correct.
up
Mhm.
in Camp Verde, Arizona, right?
Yes.
Where is Camp Verde? I guess compared to like Phoenix, everybody knows where Phoenix is. Where's Camp Verde?
Yeah, so if you take the I-17, the freeway from Phoenix, and you go north towards Sedona, it's one of the first small towns that you pass through before reaching Cottonwood, Clarkdale, and Sedona. Yeah, in that area. So it's in the beginning,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's called Verde because there is the river that passes through the town. Yeah, I'm
great.
right there where the mall is, where the Vash's superstore is.
There we go. Okay, and that's basically halfway between Phoenix and Flagstaff, right?
Yeah, an hour and a half north of Phoenix.
Yeah, yeah, that's about 45 minutes from. Yeah, okay, very cool. So you bought the business from someone who had been up there and decided that they wanted something different. And how long ago did you buy the business?
October 2025, so 4 months, almost 5 months.
Right. Man, you are in it deep, aren't you?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's been challenging but rewarding at the same time. I don't see myself going back to working for someone else. I like the autonomy. I like the freedom to offer my patients and the best care I can offer them. You know, offer discounts if I want to. To whoever I
Yeah,
feel they need it, and things like that. I'm able to do
yeah,
things
yeah,
that I couldn't do as an employee.
yeah. You can use your heart, and that you can follow your heart versus someone else's plan,
That's
right?
right. Yeah. Mhm.
I love that. So tell me about your family. You got kids and animals, from what I understand.
Yeah. So I'm married to my wife Heather, and I have 3 kids. Yeah.
Three kids.
So
How old are they?
12, 10, and 8. And I
Man,
have an Australian Aussie. I actually have two. We just got one about 2 weeks ago. The day that we met, I think that's when we went to pick up the other one. So it's a puppy.
mm-hmm.
So we have a puppy and then an older one.
Hey, so I want to back up here. Dogs are a challenge at times. Let's go with that. But did you say 8, 10, and 12 years old?
Yes,
um, yeah, I have 3 kids myself. My kids were about the same, about 2.5 years apart each, and you're in the muck. I mean, you got a brand new business that you're starting up, and you got a full handful of kids there. That's
that's right.
amazing. Do you have like goals of what you want them? Let me back up. I always tell people this, and this is not a secret with people who know me. The biggest compliment my kids could say to me someday. Maybe they're at my funeral speaking. I don't know, but the biggest compliment they could say is that Dad showed up. He was always there. He was always part of our lives, and he didn't quit. Right. And I think that sounds pretty simple, but it's not. It's hard. It's hard to show up. And
Yes.
so, what would you want your kids to think of you when they're older and you're much older?
Exactly the same thing that you just mentioned. The same thing that I was there for them. I grew up with my parents both working. My dad was in the military in Argentina his whole life until he passed away. And my mom was working also to make things meet. And they tried the best they could to be there, but also they had to support us. Um, and
Hmm.
this career that I have allows me a little more freedom, so I'm able to be there for them more than my parents were able to be there for me. So
Yeah.
on the day I die, I hope that they can remember that I was there for them, that I did not quit either with any of my endeavors, on any of my challenges. You just push forward. When things get hard, you just keep going.
Yeah, no, I love that because that's it's started my second well, I guess my third career, but my third career here just about 6 years ago, as I exited my insurance business and started this new business, and I'm working my tail off, and I don't mind hard work. Matter of fact, I love it, especially because I'm focusing on what I want, right? My dream, for lack of a better term. Um, but it does take a lot of effort, a lot of time, and I feel sometimes I'm not showing up. um, but I tell you what, that's part of showing up, right? Going to work, getting, and not being able to do all those things you want to do the moment you want. Like today, I'm in Prescott, Arizona, and it snowed last night, and there's
Right.
2 inches of snow on the ground, and my grandkids got the day off of school because they can't go to school if there's 2 inches of snow on the ground. I guess I don't know. Um, and all they wanted me to do is go out and play in the snow all night. I'm like, I know you have the day off, but I've got people that are waiting for me. I got things to do today, and that's hard. It's hard because you feel like you're not showing up sometimes, but you are. You're showing up by showing them that that work, putting the effort in is important, right? And in your life, it sounds to me like you're chasing your dream, which is what they really need to see, right?
That's right.
Um, seeing you go to work is one thing. Seeing you chase your dreams is a whole different animal. You
That's
know?
true. That's very true. That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's okay to go to work when you're chasing your dream. And
That's
hopefully
right.
my kids someday will benefit from those things. Right. But not only financially benefit, but mentally, like, hey, this is what a man does. And he goes to work and he shows up for his family in that way. So that's kind of what I'm trying to portray. And it sounds like you and I are on the same page. I think that's probably why I wanted to interview, because I felt like there's a lot of
Similarity.
synergy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
There we go. So we met, yeah, we met at a real estate meetup, and through a friend of ours who we both know and have known for a while, and he introduced us, and then we went to lunch or dinner. I guess it was an early dinner, a little while ago, and you're interested in real estate, right?
That's correct. I've been interested in real estate for the longest time. I was just trying to find, what the best way to do it. And I think I was overthinking it.
Yeah.
That now there are so many
Well, I
tools,
think we
out
all
there.
do. I was 52 before I bought my first rental property. Okay. And that's kind of like the catalyst for this whole podcast is I was 52 before I started chasing the dream, right? I was working, making good money, but I wasn't chasing my dream. And so yeah, it's okay to not know what you want and how you're going to do it. What's not okay, in my opinion, is not trying, not pushing
Right.
forward toward it. And I finally did it, and I love it. And I'm building my portfolio. I'm building my little kingdom. I've built an active income business from it, and so I'm super excited to connect with you on that. Figure out how I can help your journey, because I think that there's Oh, are we reconnecting here? Oh, there we go. I think if I can help you in your journey in real estate, and we're gonna find do great things together.
That's true. Well, thank you, Ryan.
So awesome, awesome. So we're gonna be meeting up tonight, so I don't have to say goodbye to you today, because guess what? We're gonna be talking to each other a little bit later. Just having a meal together, and there should be a few people there, so I'm pretty excited about that. Anything that you want to share with our audience or the people that might see this, that would be something that you, like I said, could be spiritual, could be just personality, attitude, or business. What would you like to share with us?
Yeah,
Anything special?
find your purpose in life. What helps you or motivates you, when you get up in the morning and just you gotta put work, focus and get it done. Take the first step. Break
I
the
love it.
fear. Yeah, that's what you gotta do to succeed in life. You don't wanna be living your last minutes of life regretting that you didn't try something. Just go and try. Even if you fail, try, get up again. I failed many times starting small businesses, with my wife. But you gotta just keep going, um, because probably where you are right now might be feeling safe, but might not be the best thing for you long term. So you gotta step up and do it. Do the
I
first step.
love it.
Take the first step.
Yeah. Yep, it's funny because I was talking to someone the other day about AI and how that's going to change, a lot of people's lives. And I'm like, I'm concerned about it. It's something that I don't understand. I don't know exactly what that means, but I also don't know that if I don't take action toward, my fear, going into my fear, that I'm going to be left behind. So and that's just a metaphor for everything you're doing, right? If
Right.
you're comfortable and you're not okay being comfortable, but you're comfortable, that's a sign that maybe it's time to go step out. And I think that you and I connecting and helping each other, finding people that will could help you do the thing that you want to do, it's a great way to start. And like I said, take simple steps, one step at a time. I think you mentioned, or maybe take some action, right?
Right.
Um, yeah, I tell people all the time, I'm not obviously not the best looking guy in the world. I don't have the greatest personality, but I connect with people well, and I take action. That's it. And if you do that, you're going to move forward. So I appreciate you coming on today. How can people find you if they wanted to, connect with you?
Well, if they want to find me through my business, they can go to www.verdesmiles.com. That's my business website. They can find me at Verde Smiles, on Facebook. Yeah, and that's how they can find me. I'm there.
Okay. Perfect. Camp Verde, Arizona, Verde Smiles, and you living in the Prescott area, Prescott Valley area.
Prescott
So like I
Valley,
said,
yes. Mhm.
let's figure out how we can connect with people in the area. Let's do it. I love it.
Awesome.
Thank you, thanks a lot, Keith. I'm sorry. Thanks a lot, Nick, for stepping up and being on here with me. I know this is not your everyday thing, so appreciate you.
Thank you so much for your time and allowing me to be here on the podcast. It's a pleasure.
All right.